Hello, hello. It's me. I'm back with a video about the author's notebook. And what I mean by that is it's almost could be called a project notebook. This might be similar or have some of the same information that I talked about when I talked about the artist planner notebook, but consider this for somebody who's writing a book and wants to hold all the information together in one place. And I couldn't find one in the studio from what I've done. I know I had one for Chasing Sylvia Beach, maybe two because that took 12 years to write. But when I think of an author's notebook, for me, it might be one of these moleskin soft cover notebooks, and this one is a grid. It's not the dot grid, it's an actual grid. And this is a Lectorum pen holder that I stuck in there. These are cool, but then they're stuck with this notebook, and then it's just on the shelf. So I guess I could tear it off and try to stick it on somewhere else. But I like the ones that are from Muji that are you can use them on any notebook. So, what is the purpose of an author's notebook? Mostly, writing a book is quite a project. It could take years. As I said, it took me 12 years to write my novel. So, over the course of time, there's going to be a lot of different things in there. And I'll share a few thoughts about what I would put in an author's notebook, and you could put whatever you want in yours. Basically, it's a workhorse, and in general, it's not going to be the writing of the book, but more the writing about the book. So it's one place, it's a dedicated place for the project to help you organize, plan, dream, capture ideas. And having it in one place is a way to keep organized. And another way to think of this is a sort of a log or a progress log. So some of the things that you could put in there include things to research. You might have a list or a separate section in the notebook of all the things you need to look up about it. If you know me as a writer's coach, you'll know that I talk about having the writing process separate from research because they're two totally different things. And when you have a list of things you want to research, it's helpful to have them all in one place. This is also a great notebook to capture ideas of things you want to explore, things you would maybe want to try in your book. Also, a place to capture resources. There's always more information. There are books, there are videos, there's blogs, there's podcasts, there's courses, there's stores. I mean, like just so many things that can be resources for your book that you want to capture in one place. Marketing ideas for when as you're going along writing it, you might think of, oh, I'd love to go on a book tour, or I'd love to, do a giveaway, or I'd love to do whatever. People will tell you ideas. You can have a separate section for marketing ideas that generally you don't need to be thinking about while you're writing the book, but in case you do, that's a place to put them. Process free writes. So again, I'm not talking about generating material for the actual book, but you may want to free write how you're feeling about the book, what your experience is, what you're going through. You might get stuck one day and you might want to write about it, or you might want to work out some ideas. You might feel insecure. Can I really write this book? Having a place to just put all of that stuff can be really helpful for you to process all of the emotions and feelings that go alongside writing a book. There are a lot, and you'll come up against so many things, so many false beliefs, so many old beliefs, things you need to let go of. When you're writing a book or doing a project like that, you're really recreating yourself, and you have to recreate this version of you. So like this old version of you into this new version. As an example, by the time I finished writing my book, I was an author. I was a novelist. I was able to finally put the label novelist on me. For 12 years, I had been, a novelist in process, or aspiring author, or I'm writing my book. So that's a long time to have an identity of somebody who's wanting to or is in process of. And you're writing your way toward that when you're able to say, okay, I'm no longer the person who wanted to do this, I'm the person who did this. So I could go on and on about all the ways you can process the things that come up, but I think you get the idea. um, Sometimes too, in terms of having a log, when we're new at something, we need to track our progress. We need to chronicle how much we're showing up for, like in the devoted writer, we write every day for 30 or 31 days, and that's us like showing up and chronicling that. We do 3 words at the end of each writing session to chronicle how the experience was for us. So um, we do that often because we don't yet trust ourselves. So we need to track it, see it, to notice the change, to notice that we're showing up. So in yours, you could track all kinds of things, whatever's meaningful to you, like word count. Like some people, I want to write 1,000 words a day, or time spent. I wrote 15 minutes a day. Um, so that can help you stay on track. I know for me, when I'm doing something like that, like I want to keep my thread going. So I'm on day 20 of the devoted writer, and I want to keep going because I'm only 11 days away from having a full 31-day cycle. So if that helps you stay on track, that's a great thing to do. Notes are great in your author's notebook. If you have meetings with your writing buddies, or and you're listening to podcasts or workshops, any kind of information you're taking in about writing or how to write, it's great to take notes in your notebook. It's all there. It's in one place. Everything in this notebook relates to your book. So you will always be able to find it. Lists, you can do word count, time spent, you can do finances, you can do to-do lists. I just did that today. I'm working on a big kind of book project, and I spent like 3 hours working on it, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired of this. So I made a list of what I had done, where I was, what I needed to do. I call that the insertion point. So tomorrow morning when I go to work on it, I'll be able to go back and I'll just know right where to start, because I've already made a kind of a to-do of what to do next and set myself up for the next session. Some of this is in my book, The Busy Woman's Guide to Writing a World-Changing Book, which if you may have, and if you don't, it's a great resource for how to write a book. Mind maps and brainstorms, if you know me, I love mind maps. I'm trying to find one in this notebook here. Yeah, here's one. This is a mind map of my Paris WOW workshop. So different things I need to do, the itinerary, kits and things that are going in the kit. It's a great thing to mind map. There's a couple of other book projects that are in here. This is also, I don't know why or what happened, but yeah, this one is also another halfway finished notebook. This one's from 2015. I don't know what happened, but chances are that I just went to a different notebook. So I might pick this one up again. I could just flip it over and start afresh, because I actually do like these notebooks, and I don't really want this one to go to waste. But it's so funny when I'm doing this notebook series that I never think of myself as somebody who doesn't finish a notebook. You hear that's really common. Someone will say, I'll get a few pages in and then I'll stop. And I'm always like, well, that's not me. Well, apparently it is. So what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person or you're a bad person if you don't finish a notebook. Another thing you could do in your author notebook, if you're more of a collage or a vision board person, is you could do images. You could do a vision board in your notebook of things you want to do, like envisioning scenes from the book. It depends on if it's fiction or nonfiction. Images that inspire you or make you want to write or help bring it to life. I'm thinking now that I would do a collage or a vision board of the book tour that I want to do. I still want to do a book tour for my book. So what would that look like? It was me with people, hanging out with people, traveling, maybe driving my little Honda Fit around the country. So those are the images that come to mind. Laughing, having fun, meeting people, talking with them about their books. When I think about that, it just sparks so much creativity, and I feel super creative when I think about that. So it really kind of helps to spark some visual ideas. So that's all that I can think of for the author notebook. Mainly the whole point is just to have a container to process and express and experience, and almost like a buddy. The author notebook is like a buddy for your book writing process. What have I missed? What else would you put in your author notebook? again, this is pretty much the same concept as the artist planner notebook. A little different because it's specific to one project, whereas like my artist planners are kind of about the whole career with, the whole not career, the whole life of my artist. So I hope that was useful. Sorry I didn't have a specific one to show you, but I would have had to gone out into the garage and paw through books and boxes of notebooks, and then that would be hours, and then I would, you know, it's called the rabbit hole. All right, let me know what thoughts or questions you have after seeing this video. Thanks for watching.